Hey Leo, thanks for checking out your 2022 12-month forecast. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. And we'll throw in Venus too, because even though this isn't necessarily a love-specific reading, we are looking into what is coming up. We are just kind of seeing what's coming up, and there might be something coming in around love as well. So we're just going to stay open here and see what comes in for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is going to be a 12-month forecast. Let's start off with the first 4 months. Please show us January 2022 for Leo. Please show us February 2022 for Leo. February 2022. All right. Please show us March. March 2022. Please show us April 2022. Please show us April 2022. There we are, my darlings. Okay, so let's start off with the first quarter of the year. January, what we have coming up for you guys is the Five of Pentacles. Now, I know this is a card that a lot of people don't like to see, but hear me out. Don't panic just yet. Don't freak out just yet. Five of Pentacles, a lot of the times will come up when somebody is trying to transition into self-employment or making a career change, and there's some uncertainty around that. There's also a lot of economic shifts that we're going to be coming into, and I would encourage you guys, Leo, because your first card is Five of Pentacles, I would encourage you guys to do your research and follow up on what the financial experts are forecasting, right? The same way you watch a psychic forecast or you might watch a weather forecast. We're going to have economical forecasts as well. So I'm not going to be good at breaking down the economy or what's happening financially, but this is something that's going to be experienced worldwide, because right now we are in a situation where everything is so tied together. It's not like back in the old days, right? Like the whole world is doing business with each other. The whole world is affected by each other's economy. So this might help you so that as you're going into 2022, you can have a better financial plan. Because I feel like with the Five of Pentacles coming up at your first card, you might be deciding to make some really big decisions in terms of career or finances. And if you understand the financial forecast, you're going to be able to go about it in a responsible way, or in a way that you can set yourself up to succeed or to navigate the changes. Five of Pentacles is also a card that comes up that during these uncertain times, we find the people that have our back. We find the people that are in our life for the right reasons, that are around us because of who we are and because they want to be there for us, not because of what we have to offer them, right? Some of you might be deciding that in this coming year, you're going to be cutting off certain people. You might be deciding that you've been overly generous, and there might be certain people that you're keeping at a distance, especially in terms of financial things. You know, maybe some of you have children who are older now, and you're like, you know, mommy and daddy can't be helping out as much, you know, like you're an adult now, you're gonna have to figure this out. Or maybe some of you have been very generous with a romantic partner, and you're like, look, like we're gonna have to kind of tighten the purse strings here. You may be setting financial boundaries as you're coming into January. I know that a lot of the times people watch tarot around love and romance, and Five of Pentacles can be like rejection or being left out in the cold. And there are times that I'm reading and doing a reading where I get that vibe, but I'm not getting that vibe for you guys, Leo. I'm not getting that this is a romantic rejection. I'm not getting that this is like romantically shutting somebody out. I'm feeling that this is financial changes and shifts and financial boundaries. For February, what we have coming up is a Knight of Cups. So as I said, some of you are deciding to make a big change or a big shift. when the Knight of Cups comes up and we're not looking at love and romance, Knight of Cups is going to be the pursuit of the things that inspire us, the pursuit of the things that give our life a sense of beauty, a sense of adventure, a sense of excitement, right? It's the pursuit of the things that make the heart smile. So it's very optimistic, very happy energy when we have the Knight of Cups, when we're not looking at the traditional meaning of somebody who's like a player or a lover boy. And again, there are times that this card can definitely mean that. But in this instance, okay, I'm not getting a love and romance vibe from it. I'm getting the vibe of you deciding to do the things that make you happy. Some of you maybe are wanting to do something more creative. You may be leaving a very labor intensive career, or something very analytical or very brainy, and you may be wanting to do something more creative. Some of you are wanting to pursue a more creative path. Now, some of you are going into the starting off the year with financial worries and concerns. The Knight of Cups is really positive in that aspect, because over the years reading for people, and this is just me in my readings, one of the things that I've seen is Knight of Cups comes up for people when they're having an unblocking in receiving, and they're having an unblocking in financial things and receiving things physically, and all of a sudden you start to notice beauty around you. That's one of the first ways we begin to receive. If you're somebody and you have had years of financial trouble, years of struggle, okay, when you first start to unblock to receive, I've had this experience in the past. I've read for people who've had this experience. It's like all of a sudden you start to look at the world, starts looking different to you. You start noticing colors differently. You start noticing everyday things differently. I never noticed how beautiful the lights were, on the bus ride home, the city lights, the traffic lights. I never noticed how beautiful those little blades of grass were growing out of the cracks in the sidewalk. Just in very normal everyday things, you're kind of like, whoa, I never noticed how beautiful that was, or how inspiring that was, right? Never realized how beautiful green or blue were, all of a sudden things start to look differently to you. And so, in February, some of you might be experiencing this type of an opening up where you're feeling inspired, you're seeing beauty, you're wanting to take in your surroundings. This is a form of unblocking. This is a form of opening up to receive. The next card that's coming up here for March is the Magician. And the Magician is a major arcana card. So these major arcana cards are going to come up anytime that we're at a significant crossroads, anytime that we're at a significant new chapter in our life. Typically, for me in my readings, I see the major arcana cards come up when you're about to accomplish something that you came here to accomplish. You're about to have an experience here that you came here specifically to have this experience, or to learn, or to master this thing. And the Magician is very, very promising, right? Because the Magician is manifestation. The Magician is the whole concept of as above, so below. You're taking things from the realm of thought, from the realm of imagination, and you're calling them into physical existence. So it's a time of massive manifesting. I do feel that, Leo, a lot of you are going to be feeling Archangel Raziel around you and helping you at this time. Archangel Raziel is sometimes referred to as the master magician, and he's really good at helping us in terms of manifesting or creation in the physical realm. Not creation the way that God creates, but creation in the way that we humans manifest. And so some of you might be feeling that help or that assistance. You might also be getting a lot of confirmation at this time by way of if you're seeing a certain spirit animal repeatedly, or a certain sign, or seeing angel numbers. You might see a specific number a lot of the times. Everywhere you look, you're seeing a specific number, or you're seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 444, 222, 555. You might be seeing repeating numbers. And this is the universe's way of letting you know, hey, look, you're on the right track. You're on the right path. You're manifesting super quickly right now. So make sure that you're keeping your focus on the things that you want instead of on what you don't want. Make sure that you're paying attention to where your focus is. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, and some of you might be feeling very inspired by this Gemini, like you're getting a sense of inspiration. I'm getting a sense or a feeling of like a muse, like somebody that's inspiring you or helping you get your fire back or your passion back. If you have, or it could also be Virgo, because there's a Virgo element to Magician. If you have a Gemini or Virgo placement, there could be really big changes happening for you in March, in those areas of your life, or in those houses of your life, okay, or in that area of your life. There could be big changes and big shifts happening if you have a Gemini or Virgo placement in those areas. April 2022, we have the Two of Wands. And this can be decisions and partnerships, right? So whether you've been trying to manifest a partner in terms of business, or if you've been trying to manifest a partner in terms of, romantic situations, Two of Wands can definitely be partnerships. It can also be offers. If you are in the market for like a new job, or if you are in the market of where like you're trying to buy a house, Two of Wands can tell us that you're going to have more than one choice. You're going to have more than one option. It's not going to be so clear cut. Those of you who are dealing with a partnership of some kind, whether it be business or whether it be romantic, Two of Wands is saying that you have to weigh the options very carefully. Okay, there might be something here where you think you're on the same page, but you're not on the same page. And so, like, I'll give you an example, right? Two people are getting to know each other, and one says, well, you know what, like, I just really want to go slow. I don't want to rush into anything. I don't want to have a fast-moving relationship. I want to make sure we really get to know each other and take our time getting to know each other. I really want us to get to know each other and take things slow. And the other person might think, oh my gosh, yes, totally. I don't want a red flag relationship. I don't want somebody who's going to want to move things super fast. And they think that they're in a committed relationship, or they think that this person is thinking in terms of like getting to know them like on a really serious level. Meanwhile, in this other person's mind, taking it slow, they're talking to a bunch of other people, or they're like not wanting to put a label on things, and they're not wanting to address it as like, a romantic relationship or romantic partnership. And, 6 months in, the other person is like, well, like, what's going on? Where is this going? What are we? Oh, well, I told you I wanted to take it slow, and I told you, So it's like, you have to ask questions, right? Like, you're dating people, you're getting to know people, and somebody's like, oh yeah, I completely want that, or I want the same thing. Ask, what does that mean to you? What does taking it slow mean to you? What does that look like to you? What is a slow time frame? What would be the time frame of something like that? Ask specific questions. Business partnerships. Oh yeah, we're going to split the work 50-50, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. Okay, well, what are the tasks that you're doing? What are the things that you're responsible for? What are you contributing financially? What are you contributing intellectually? What are you contributing in terms of your energy and your time? Ask specific questions, because you might not be on the same page, and then you have this situation of expectation versus reality where you're disappointed, right? Like, you get your hopes up, and then all of a sudden you're disappointed because you were expecting something different. if you can ask the questions and do your research, you're not going to have disappointment. You're going to know. And you can address at that time, well, you know what, I'm not looking for somebody who's going to date me for 6 months and not be ready to put a label on things, or doesn't know what they want, right? Doesn't know if they want a serious relationship or not. That way, you know, you're not going to be disappointed, or you're able to set your rules or your boundaries. Those of you that are being offered a job or choosing between jobs in April, you need to do your research, because, or you might have an offer, a very generous offer. And I've said this example in the past, and it surprises me how many people have said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what's happening to me right now. Maybe you might have a friend or family member reach out to you and say, hey, I've got an extra room. Why don't you come stay with me? And I won't charge you rent. And if you want to work on starting your business, or if you want to work on going back to school, or whatever you want to do, find yourself, you can go ahead and do that. I won't charge you rent. And you can just help me out around the house, or you can just help me watch my kids here and there, since you're here, right? And you might say, oh my gosh, that sounds like a great deal. And you might be thinking that you're going to watch the kids maybe once a week, or you're going to, help out, with like really minor things. And then you get there and they're like, going out every night, coming home from work super late, and you're like, you can't leave the house, and you're there with the kids, and you're like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be every night, or I didn't think it was going to be so often. And they might ask for help around things that are outside of your comfort level. Maybe they're like, oh, I need you to go up and patch a hole in the roof. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm not a roofer. I said I would help you around the house, but that's not what I meant, right? So when somebody gives you an offer like that, ask questions. Okay, how many hours a week would you need me helping the kids? What kinds of things would you need me to do for them? What kinds of things would you need me to do around the house? Make sure you ask questions. In terms of a job that you're being offered, do your research, because this company or this business might be looking at you like, oh my gosh, Leo is perfect for what we need, and they're going to get a lot of benefit out of you, or business partnership. They know, like, you have no idea how beneficial you're going to be for them, and they know that you have no idea of how beneficial you're going to be for them, and so they may lowball you. They may take advantage of that. So do your research. What is the market value of the job? What are other people in your area getting paid for that work? What are the job responsibilities? Are they giving you job responsibilities for like 2 or 3 different types of positions? In that case, you may want to ask for more money, so it's do your research, do your homework, because I see 2 of Pentacles come up a lot of the times when you're going to be super beneficial for somebody. You're going to be like a massive asset to them, and you have no idea. And they know that you have no idea, and they're taking advantage of that. So this is where negotiating comes in. And the more you do your research, the more you educate yourself, the better you can negotiate the best possible situation for yourself. Let's go ahead and see the next 4 months. Please show us May 2022 for Leo. Please show us June 2022 for Leo. Please show us July. Please show us August. All right. So for May, we have 6 of Cups. Okay. For some of you, this could be in terms of romance. There could be somebody resurfacing, or if you've been having a hard time, maybe some of you are starting the year off with like a trial separation or breaking up with somebody. As we get into May, there could be a reconciliation coming together again, or this person is resurfacing and asking you for another chance. This can be happening for some of you in terms of romance, or some of you might be connecting with like a childhood friend, or like a crush from when you were younger, like a puppy love or something. You may be reconnecting with someone from the past and starting a relationship. Um, the vibe that I'm getting for a lot of you Leos, however, is I feel that there's some kind of attempt for reconciliation coming from a sibling. Okay, which is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, I think Gemini also got Six of Cups, and the feeling and the vibe that I had for them was that there was gonna be like through like, you know, ancestry.com or like one of those DNA kit kinds of things, somebody reaching out and saying, hey, guess what, surprise, I am your long lost brother, I'm your long lost sister, we have the same dad, you know, kind of situation. Or surprise, your mom put me up for adoption, and I don't know if anybody knows about me, or our mom, they might say, not your mom, but you might share a mother. So I felt that for some Geminis, that there was gonna be somebody showing up like, hey, we're family. And the reason why I bring it up, I understand this is a Leo reading, right? I'm not trying to take the attention away from Leos, but we have the Magician card coming up. So some of you, if you have a Gemini placement, it could be that you're finding out that you have this long lost sibling. For other ones of you, it can be that you have siblings that are wanting to make peace, or maybe they feel like the relationship has been full of miscommunications and they're trying to kind of start over, like get a clean slate. They're wanting to be close again. They're wanting to work together again. There might be a motive here. If you do have a business, Leo, they might be hoping that they can make peace with you and also be part of this business. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, well, they can just go kick rocks. There's no way in heck that I worked so hard that I'm just going to let them in and you know, be a part of my business, or I don't need their fake, you know, apology if they're trying to get a job out of me. I don't think it's fake. I feel like they're sincere. And I feel like if you did decide to give them a chance, they're going to work their butt off. I do feel that. I feel this person is sincere. They want to, this sibling is sincere. They want to have like a fresh start with you, and they want to have a good relationship with you, and they want to have a sense of like partnership with you. Some of you might be doing some really deep inner child work around May of 2022, and you may be remembering a lot of things from your childhood, a lot of things from your past, and you may be pulling inspiration from these childhood memories for projects, or maybe even inventions, or business ideas that are going to be profitable for you financially. Some of you might be deciding that, you know what, I'm going to go fulfill that childhood dream. I always wanted to be an architect, or I always wanted to be a marine biologist, or I always wanted to be a construction worker. I don't know, whatever you wanted to be. Some of you might be deciding to start taking steps towards that childhood dream. For June 2022, we have the Judgment card, another major arcana card. And this can be big decisions, big choices, especially if you do have a sibling situation coming up and the relationship has been strained in the past, or some stranger is coming out of nowhere saying, surprise, we're family. You may have a big decision to make as far as like, do I want to let this person in my life? Do I want to have this experience? You may be trying to figure that out. Judgment card can also be answering a calling. So as some of you are going through your childhood, you may be having very intuitive flashes or memories of spiritual experiences that you had as a child. And Spirit just reminded me something, and I'm going to share it with you guys because some of you are going to have a similar experience. Some of you are opening up psychically. Some of you are opening up spiritually. And so you've been blocking, or you blocked this when you were very young because you got scared or because you were told to block it. For me, I was told to block it. I would tell my parents about my spiritual experiences, and they would say to me, oh, those are demons. You can't talk to them. You can't have those experiences. You know, just close your eyes and ignore them and don't talk to them. And I completely forgot about that. And then when I was in my late 20s, no, actually early 30s, or mid 30s, I'm going to say early 30s, I started to open up again. Late 20s, early 30s, I started to open up again spiritually. My third eye began unblocking, and I couldn't fight it. I was trying to fight it. I couldn't fight it. And I started to remember all the times in my childhood that I would have these spiritual experiences. And then the kicker for me, which like freaked me out, was one day I was going to bed and I looked over and I saw an angel, and it was an angel with a spinning sword, a sword spinning in front of it. And I remembered seeing that angel. That angel would visit me a lot when I was a little girl, and I'd be very scared. I'd be very afraid in my room because I would have experiences with like shadow people and like darker entities, and I would get very scared, and that angel would like be like, hey, here, I'm protecting you, I'm with you. And that came from a children's Bible, from there's a scripture saying that God put an angel with a spinning sword in front of the Garden of Eden to keep Adam and Eve from going back in. So to me, like, that was a symbol of a guardian or a protector, like somebody who's saying who can come in and who can't come in. And so that angel showed themselves to me in that way so that my little brain could understand that it was there to protect me. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, like I got chills, because all of a sudden I remembered all of the interactions I had with that angel when I was little. Some of you are going to have a similar experience. You may have some spiritual interaction, and you're like, oh my gosh, I recognize this angel, or I recognize this sign, or I remember being able to do this when I was little, of having this gift of clairaudience or clairvoyance, or I would just have dreams and I would just know things. Like all of a sudden it's coming back to you that you've always had this ability. So for some of you, the Judgment card is coming in terms of like, it's completely changing your whole life. When I had that spiritual connection, it was very difficult for me to stay working in the corporate world. I couldn't do it anymore because there was this whole great spiritual world out there. There was so many more meaningful things happening, and this time of awakening that we were coming into, I couldn't do it anymore in the corporate world. And I got pulled into doing readings and energy healings. I couldn't fight it anymore. And so some of you Leos, you're going to have a similar experience where you feel like it's time to answer this calling, or it's time to put these gifts to use in some way. The Judgment card can come up when we're being called into a certain path, answering a path. Judgment card can also come up for a warning for some of you that maybe are trying to reconcile with a relationship, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, with somebody that you clearly know is not awake yet and is like lower vibrational than you. But you might be more mature, you might be more spiritually awake, and you might be saying, you know what, I feel bad for this person. I'm going to try to meet them where they're at, and I'm going to try to help them. I'm going to try to help them raise their vibration. I'm going to try to bring them up to my level. When the Judgment card comes up, it's telling me that you're not going to be able to. Because this person, instead of you pulling them up to your level, they're going to pull you down to their level. And so you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to let this person pull you off your path or not? I'm feeling that this is more romantic than family. This is more of a romantic thing than a family thing. So again, this is a general reading. That might not be the experience for every single one of you, but some of you may be having that experience. August is the Justice card, okay? Another major arcana card, a new chapter, a new shift. When I have major arcana cards come in back to back, it's telling me really big changes in a short period of time. Okay? To have judgment following by the justice card can also mean that some of you maybe are having to make a decision about standing up for yourself. Some of you maybe are having to make a decision about taking a matter to court or standing up for your rights legally. Now, I do not do legal readings, so please do not schedule a reading with me asking me for an outcome of a legal case. I'm not going to predict the outcomes of a legal case, but traditionally in tarot, the Justice card can be a legal case and letting us know that you have grounds here to pursue some kind of compensation. So some of you might be seeking out a lawyer to get some guidance, to get some advice about what your best course of action might be or what your rights might be. Justice card can also indicate Libra energy. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra that's very significant in terms of partnership, or I'm even getting like a mentorship vibe here. If you have a Libra placement, again, there could be big changes happening for you in those houses or in that area of your life. Again, it's going to be different for different ones of you. And you can know this and you can feel confident in this and you can feel in terms of decision making, okay, confidence in terms of decision making. The Libra card comes in terms of, or the Justice card, excuse me, comes in terms of balancing the head and the heart. And Leo, maybe this is where you've really been struggling. You have a big decision to make and you're like, I don't know what to do, because when I listen to my heart, I get burned, right? It bites me in the butt. When I listen to my head, I'm absolutely miserable. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should listen to my head or if I should listen to my heart. Neither one seems to ever work out for me, right? It's like I'm you know, gonna suffer either way. And so the Justice card comes in to remind us we don't have to choose between the two. The Justice card is about incorporating and balancing the head and the heart. You're going to learn how to listen to your heart, but you're going to learn how to listen to it in a logical way and do your planning and take your steps so that you can follow your heart, but you're setting yourself up for success. You're not going overboard. You're not jumping head first like the fool. It's balancing the head and the heart. So some of you are coming into the ability to be able to master how to do this. Some of you could be offered a significant contract. In August, there could be a significant contract coming in for some of you. I do feel, though, that some of you are feeling conflicted by it because it's pushing you out in a way where you can't hide anymore. So maybe some of you, like, you want to be successful, but you don't want people to know that you're successful. You might have this past life fear that, oh, if people know I have money, or if people know I'm successful, they're going to come after me. They're going to come, trying to take it away. You might have like a past life fear. You might be reaching a level of success that you're not able to hide. Or if you've been doing something in terms of creative projects or in terms of even something spiritual, you might have a contract coming in your way where you're going to be put out there and people are going to find out. Oh my gosh, is that Leo on the radio right now? Oh my gosh, I'm hearing Leo on the radio right now. Or oh my gosh, I just saw this advertisement for a radio show with Leo, and they're doing like psychic stuff, right? Like, so it could be something that you've been trying to do quietly, but there's a contract or a level of success coming in that you're not going to be able to hide that you've been doing this. Even if you've been doing it anonymously, you might put yourself out there under a stage name, but the people who know you are going to see you and they're going to say, wait a minute, that's Leo. And some of you are having to just kind of like prepare yourself for that. Brace yourself for that. Okay? Am I getting the months right here? Okay, this is August. This was July. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. This is July. I said August, I meant July. So August, look, ooh, I just got chills. Talk about confirmation. Talk about confirmation. I said some of you had a big contract or a big offer coming in. Some of you, it could also be the settlement of a legal case. And here what you have coming in as a result of it is the Ace of Pentacles. In August, there's a very positive financial shift happening for you. Ace of Pentacles can indicate new opportunities, an increase in financial flow, reaching a level of income that is more than you've made in the past. It's a significant breakthrough for you. So opportunities, energy flowing in, abundance, right? Success. But the Ace of Pentacles is super special for me. And some of you have heard me say this in the past. Over the years reading for people, I see, because keep in mind, it's not just money, it's energy. Over the years reading for people, I've seen Ace of Pentacles come up a lot of times when Spirit is telling me that you're breaking out of generational curses. You're breaking out of lower inherited vibrational energies. You're breaking out of like repeating patterns, learned patterns and learned behaviors. You're making a breakthrough. You're breaking out of the cycle. Okay? You're changing the cycle. You're breaking out of the cycle. I see this happening a lot with the Ace of Pentacles. And so this is very beautiful, very positive energy, right? And obviously, as you're breaking out of those cycles, those patterns, all other areas of your life are going to be blessed because you're not blocked anymore. You're in the energy of flow. You're in the energy of receiving. So career is going to go good. Finances are going to go good. Love life is going to go good. There's a sense of this unblocking and coming into flow. So it's very positive when the Ace of Pentacles comes up. We're going to go ahead and see the next 4 months. Please show us September 2022. Please show us September 2022. Please show us October 2022. Please show us November 2022. Please show us December 2022. So we have the King of Swords for October. No, for September. For September, we have the King of Swords. So this can be, again, decision-making, making fair and balanced decisions. This can be negotiating opportunities, making fair and balanced decisions. The King of Swords is the master of negotiating, the master of mediation, and he's always going to find the win-win situation. He's always going to find the win-win scenario, and he's going to help people see like, hey, if you can give me what I want, here's how it's benefiting you. So some of you might be stepping into positions where you're doing negotiating, or you're negotiating deals or transactions for yourself. Some of you might be studying and improving your business communication. Okay, your communication style in terms of business. Some of you who are receiving a nice little chunk of change coming in, King of Swords can be consulting an expert. You might be going to a financial planner. You might be going to a lawyer or an attorney, and you might be asking, how can I protect these assets in the future? But the King of Swords can also come in when we are consulting an expert and getting guidance in a situation. Those of you who are dealing with a relationship that you're having a hard time leaving, King of Swords comes up sometimes to say that, for me in my readings anyway, the only way the relationship is going to work, number one, you might need to consult an expert and get guidance. You might need to go to like a pastor or a reverend or a relationship counselor. You may need to bring outside help to help you guys communicate. But King of Swords sometimes comes up to tell me that what you need to know, the only way this relationship is going to work, is you need to know that you're dealing with someone who is super duper logical. And you may be really frustrated because you're waiting, you're saying, when are they going to let the wall down? When are they going to like melt the ice and let me in more? When are they going to respond the way I want them to respond? It's never going to happen. Not because they don't love you, but because this is how they love. Like, this is the way that they're wired. A King of Swords kind of personality, if you've had a horrible day and you want to vent to them and tell them what a horrible day you've had, and you just want them to say, oh baby, I'm so sorry, oh my gosh, those people, they're just jealous of you. They're jealous of you, they're insecure, they're intimidated. That's why they're acting that way, right? Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe your sister or your brother did that again. I don't know what their problem is, you know? Like, you want to hear that reassurance. You want to hear that comforting energy, that, oh baby, I'm so sorry, and here, there, you know. King of Swords isn't going to do that. King of Swords is like, didn't I tell you already to quit that job? I thought we already talked about this. This is such a toxic environment. I don't understand why you're still putting up with it. I don't understand why you're still there. Didn't I tell you when your brother or sister calls you to ignore it? Every time you talk to them, you're always so upset. They always like say or do something crazy and it really bothers you. Like, why are you still talking to them? King of Swords is going to look for the solution. King of Swords is not going to comfort you. Okay? King of Swords is like, if there's a solution to this, why are we even dealing with it? Why are we even talking about it? And you're like, why doesn't this person care? Why can't they give me some compassion? Why can't they give me some sympathy? That's not the way that they're wired. And that will never change. So you have to ask yourself, can I teach myself to see the way that King of Swords loves me? Can I like kind of study them and figure out, oh, okay, this is how they're letting me know that they love me, or this is how they're showing that they care about my feelings? Or am I like, nope, I need the reassurance. I cannot make this compromise. That's a decision that only you can make. I'm never going to tell somebody to leave a relationship unless there's some abuse going on or something that is dangerous. Outside of that, I'm never going to tell somebody if they should stay with somebody or not. But you might have to make that decision, and some of you have been struggling for a long time in a relationship, not feeling appreciated, not feeling supported, not feeling like this person has any compassion or understanding your struggle. They're just too logical, right? They're just too logical. They're like, there's a solution, so why should you suffer? And you might be like, it's not that easy. I can't just block out my family. I can't just ignore my family when they call, right? Or I can't just up and leave this job, or I don't want to give these people a feeling of satisfaction, like they chased me out of here and they won. You might have things that you want them to realize, but they're just going to think very logically. And you have to ask yourself, can I deal with that? Can I be accepting of that? Okay, again, this is a general reading. It's not going to be for every single one of you. So for other ones of you, this is about seeking guidance. You know, you might be getting training here in financial planning or consulting an expert and things that you're wanting to do with this money to make sure that these investments work and pay off. Okay. So October, we have the Devil card, just in time for Halloween. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. There could be significant dealings with a Capricorn or a significant connection with a Capricorn. Again, if you have a Capricorn placement, there could be big changes happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. The Devil card can also indicate fears, addictions, karmic cycles, karmic situations. And I have to tell you, Leo, the feeling and the vibe I'm getting from this card for the majority of you, you're breaking out of generational curses. You're going to have a lot of decisions to make. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to improve the quality of your life and to make these really big changes, and you might be consulting a mentor or an expert to train you or guide you in how to be successful in these new endeavors. And this is exactly the type of moment when the negative ego comes up really hard and really strong against us. That really negative self-talk. The negative ego hates change. And even when it's a good change for us, it just hates change. And this is a massive shift you're coming into. So anytime that we're about to make a massive change, or we're at the threshold of a really massive breakthrough, a really massive change in our life, the negative ego starts to panic. And it comes in full force. It comes in hard. And all of a sudden we have these intrusive thoughts. We have these really extreme negative thoughts and this feeling of anxiety and hopelessness, it can't work out. It never works out. Good things don't happen for me. Oh my gosh, people probably think I'm nuts for even trying. What if I fail and fall on my face? I'm going to be so embarrassed. Right? All of these thoughts start coming in about how we're going to fail and why we're going to fail and that we should just give up. And there might even be really mean things coming up, oh, you're stupid, you're ugly, or, you might be having really negative thoughts about yourself. And I'm putting it mildly, but any one of us that have dealt with negative ego, we wish negative ego said you're stupid or you're ugly, right? That's the very watered down, rated G, preschool, playground, trash talk version. We know that the negative ego can be a lot meaner than that. But I'm just, I'm just keeping it light here when I'm using these words. I want you to try to be aware of when this is happening. And I want you to remind yourself that, wow, I must be really close to a massive breakthrough because the negative ego is coming at me hard. The negative ego cannot stop God or universe from handing you your blessing. But the negative ego can definitely stop you from showing up to receive the blessing. It can't stop God, it can't stop the universe, but it could absolutely convince you to give up. And so you have to catch it and say, wow, I must be really close to this really big breakthrough that the negative ego is coming in so hard. The negative ego is coming in so mean, right? And so we have to kind of try to talk our way out of that. And reason our way out of that. And sometimes the negative ego will give us a gift. Because the negative ego tells us all the reasons why we're going to fail. Or all the reasons, all the things that are going to go wrong. We can say, oh, okay, well, hey, you know what? I didn't think of that. That is possible. It could all fall apart or it could all go wrong. But what can my plan B be? What can my safety net be? How can I set myself up so that if that problem arises, I can handle it. I can shut it down. Wow, what a gift. Thanks, negative ego. Now I'm going to really be ready. Now I'm really going to succeed, right? There's a gift in it. There's a silver lining in it. But it's all in how we approach it. It's all in how we choose to see it and deal with it. So if you find yourself feeling these super discouraging thoughts, remind yourself that you are very close to a massive breakthrough, and you're going to overcome that fear. You're going to overcome that insecurity. You're going to break out of that energetic bondage, and you're going to claim your prize. You're going to claim your blessing. November 2022 for our darling Leos is the Queen of Pentacles. I'm telling you, lots of big things happening for you guys financially in the coming year, which is impressive because we're going to have some hard times financially. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But Leo, you guys are finding a way through it. You're finding abundance. You're gathering resources. Your physical needs are being met. You're being very smart with your money. You're coming up with opportunities to increase your finances. Now, the Queen of Pentacles can definitely come in terms of like promotion, success in career. For me, in my readings, a lot of the time she comes up when she's trying to give us confirmation of like acquiring a property. You know, maybe you're like, I don't know if is it going to happen? Am I going to be able to buy a house, or am I going to be able to buy land, or buy the kind of house or buy the kind of land I want, or am I ever going to be able to fix this place up and give it the work and the love that it needs, give it the remodeling that it needs? Queen of Pentacles comes in to tell us, yes, it's going to happen. So for some of you, there could be big changes happening for you in your living environment, an upgrade in your standard of living, and an upgrade in your living environment. Queen of Pentacles also comes up to tell me that your success depends on your physical self-care, that your physical self-care is crucial. Okay, so as you're coming into the end of the year, especially in November, physical self-care, you really need to be on top of this. Really, really need to be on top of this. And I don't mean physical self-care in terms of you better work out and look cute, you better do your hair and makeup, you better dress cute. That's not what I mean by physical self-care. By physical self-care, I mean you need to be listening to your body. You need to be listening to your body and doing what your body needs you to do. That's the simplest way I can put it in a nutshell. Making sure you're getting good quality sleep. We already know, Leo, you're going to have some big decisions to make. We can't make good decisions if we're in an emotional mindset. And if we're tired, if we're not getting enough sleep, you better bet you're going to be in an emotional mindset. You're going to be stressed, overly emotional. It's going to like cloud your thinking. It's going to cloud your judgment. Sleep is crucial. Quality sleep. Maybe you need to, like, at the end of the night, you know, have a little, like a little wind down little ceremony for yourself, or wind down period, right? Maybe you're going to put on your night music. Maybe you're going to take a bath or a nice long hot shower, lotions, pajamas, bed sheets that feel good on the skin, that make it feel good to be in your body, that help you rest, that help you unwind. Maybe making more time for physical intimacy, or maybe in some cases physical self-love, you know. That might be something that is gonna be needed for some of you too, in terms of like release, in terms of like, you know, comforting yourself, being able to rest, being able to relax, being able to get good sleep, clearing out any clutter, creating a sense of sanctuary for yourself in your home. You know, getting rid of anything that's broken, anything you're not using, anything that's taking up, you know, space that is unnecessary, anything that reminds you of a person or situation that makes you sad. You know, get rid of that stuff. You know, maybe kind of create space, and what you do in that space. This is where I sleep. This is where I watch TV. This is where I sit and read. This is where I journal. This is where I work on my art projects or my creative projects. This is where I, unwind. This is where I do my yoga, whatever it is that you're doing in your space. But make sure that you have your little designated spots and you have a sense of sanctuary, that this is your safe place. This is where you come to shut the world out. Okay? Create that sense of sanctuary in your home. This is especially true if you're stuck in a living situation. You're like, when am I going to get away from this mofo? When am I not going to have to live with this person anymore? Or when am I going to finally be able to get out of my parents' house? There are so many adults who are stuck in this cycle where they leave their parents' home and they end up going back, especially right now with a lot of the changes that are happening in the economy. If you're in that situation, please don't beat yourself up. Please don't be embarrassed. Please don't be ashamed, because you're not alone. A lot of people are in that cycle. And a lot of it is happening because we have unfinished business with our parents or with our mates that we just can't seem to break up with once and for all, or, whatever it might be. We have this unfinished business. If you can carve out a sense of sanctuary, a sense of space for yourself in that living environment and control the portion of it that belongs to you, you're going to be able to float out of there like a little balloon full of helium. Before you know it, you'll be out of there. But you might need to create a sense of sanctuary for yourself. Prepare meals for yourself with like actual food that's giving you nutrients, that's giving you energy. Present it to yourself in a loving way. If you have somebody coming over that you care about, you're not going to burn a piece of toast and throw it on a paper plate and smack it down in front of them with all the crumbs and say, here you go, enjoy. You're not going to microwave a hot dog and hand it to them and say, here you go, don't eat the bun because it has carbs, but you know what, just go ahead and eat it over the trash can, and when you're done, just make yourself at home, go ahead and knock out, just go ahead and turn in for the night and go to sleep. You're not going to do that with a guest. Why are you going to do that with yourself? Treat yourself like a guest. Give yourself that sense of luxury with the things that are already available to you. Have a morning ritual. When you do your morning and coffee, when I say ritual, I don't mean conjuring up spirits. That's not what I mean. Have your morning coffee, morning tea in a way where like you're setting yourself up to start the day. Maybe you have your morning music playlist. Maybe you want to sit in the quiet and enjoy the quiet before other people are awake and driving you nuts. You just want to sit there and enjoy the quiet while you're drinking your tea or your coffee, or listening to the birds chirp, or looking out the window, or sitting out in the garden. Whatever it is that gives you a sense of like, what a wonderful day, what a wonderful way to start, what a wonderful day, what a wonderful, I'm enjoying my breakfast, I'm enjoying my tea, I'm enjoying my coffee. Create that sense of luxury for yourself. This helps you be in your body, to ground yourself and to open up to receive. The next card here for December is the Eight of Cups. And Eight of Cups is the search for the missing piece. We feel like something is missing and we're trying to find it. And some of you have heard me say this in my other YouTube videos. Eight of Cups for me tends to come up for people who are overachievers. And you're the kind of person where you do not rest until you accomplish this goal. And you have accomplished a lot of things that other people could like barely even dream of, right? You put your mind to something and you make it happen. You're like a bulldog. You don't let go, right? You just you make it happen, you succeed, and you might be seen as a bit of an overachiever by the people in your life. But the problem is that every time you hit one of these accomplishments, the happiness doesn't last very long. You're proud of yourself. You're like, I'm glad that I did it. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that I have this accomplishment, or I'm happy that I've been able to acquire this thing, but it didn't make me feel the way I thought it was going to make me feel. I don't feel the fulfillment I thought I was going to feel. I don't feel any different in my life. Maybe I focused on the wrong thing. Maybe I'm going to be happier when I reach CEO. Maybe I'm going to be happier when I'm making, 7 or 8 figures. Maybe I'm going to be happier when I find true love and I end up with my soulmate. It always becomes the next thing. Happiness is always in the next goal. You hit that goal and you're like, oh, that wasn't it, so let me set the next goal. 8 of Cups tells us that the missing piece is basically, it's a God-shaped hole. It's a spiritual void. And you're trying to fill it up with everything other than the spiritual connection. So when I see 8 of Cups, Spirit is saying, look, you're going to accomplish all this stuff and you're going to keep accomplishing stuff, but we don't want to see you feeling lost. We don't want to see you not being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor when it comes in. So this is the time that you need to focus on pausing, taking a time out, and working on your spiritual connection, working on your spiritual relationship, right? Some of you might say, Amethyst, I already wake up every morning, I say my prayers, I read my Bible, I do my mantras, I do my yoga, I sit and talk to my crystals, I light my incense, whatever it is that you do, right? Oh, I already have this, I do this every single day. That's wonderful, but your spiritual routine, that's it, it's routine. It becomes routine after a while. It starts to lose its meaning. It starts to lose its magic. If I tell you 5 times a day, every single day, that you're the most attractive, most amazing, most talented, funniest person I've ever seen in my life, that I've ever known, you're going to eat it up the first several times. You're going to love it. But after a while, it's going to be like meaningless words because you hear it so much. You hear it so much, it loses its magic. It loses its meaning. It's like I'm saying it on a broken record. It's like, do the words even mean anything anymore? So just like our personal relationships are going to need us to spice things up once in a while and keep it interesting and keep it new and keep it fresh, it's the same with our spiritual connection. How else can you connect spiritually? Maybe you can do it by spending time in nature, taking in the beauty of nature around you, being around children, being around animals, volunteering, spending time in water and just focusing on the feeling of being in the water. Water is magic. We don't pay attention to it, but in my opinion, water is magic. And so there's so many ways that we can connect, that we can feel that sense of something bigger, something great, outside of ourselves. So make time for that. And then you're going to start to really be able to relax and enjoy all this awesome stuff that you've accomplished. And then sure, go ahead and set more goals, but hey, why not enjoy what's already come in, and why not enjoy all the things you're going to accomplish in this year of 2022? Thank you for watching, my dears. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign if this is none of those. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I know I've been kind of irregular with the weekly forecast, guys. I'm sorry. This has been a difficult year for me. I got hit with the Rona. It hit me hard. I haven't been right for a long time, and then I get better, and then I have things coming up. I had a lot of spiritual attack. I moved. I relocated. I had so many things happen. So I'm sorry that I haven't been consistent with the weekly forecasts, but coming into 2022, you will see consistency from me again. So please make sure you check out the weekly forecasts. I'm going to still do the monthly love readings as well. Make sure to check those out, those of you who are interested. Thank you for watching. I'm wishing you a happy new year, a happy 2022. Take care.